Today we'll be looking at a slice-of-life romantic comedy called Hayate The Combat Butler. Spoilers ahead. A little boy asks Santa Claus why he doesn't give him presents, which the reply is that he's poor. On December 24th, Hayate Ayasaki is a 16-year-old boy who has been working hard, earning money as a bicycle delivery boy for his good-for-nothing parents. He loses his job after his employer finds out that he's still in high school, and his irresponsible parents spend the money he had earned. He rushes home and finds his parents are gone. 156,804,000 yen as a Christmas present. Soon after, the yakuza come, but he manages to break a window to escape. At Loser Park, in an extremely desperate situation, Hayate tries to kidnap a wealthy young girl named Nagi Sanzenin, standing by the vending machines, who mistakes his action as a confession of love, but fails in his attempt. Later, Hayate saves her from the other kidnappers when she yells out Hayate. Nagi repays him by offering him a job as her new butler. However, overcome by injuries received during the rescue, Hayate collapses and is taken from the scene by Nagi's private helicopter. Therefore, unmei between the butler and mistress begins. Awakening within Nagi's mansion, Hayate incorrectly concludes that he has died and gone to heaven, and resolves to make the most of it. While he's enjoying a soak in an enormous indoor bath, he saw Maria the maid naked. The water reopens his wounds and he passes out. When he regains consciousness, Nagi and Maria explain that he is Nagi's new butler now, since Himegami, the former butler, left. However, the mansion's head butler rejects to have him as a butler and wants Maria to fire Hayate, but Maria could not bear to fire him. Eager to demonstrate his aptitude for the job, Hayate begins cleaning the mansion at a remarkable rate, demonstrating his cleaning skills that he gained from his previous employments. He finds a manga that Nagi had been drawing, and when he mistakenly refers to it as a picture diary, Nagi ejects him from the room. Believing himself fired, Hayate leaves the mansion and is immediately abducted by the yakuza that are after him. All seems lost until Nagi, Mask the Money, appears and rescues him by paying off his debt of opening a suitcase full of money. Hayate will now work as Nagi's butler to repay her. Hayate wakes up Nagi one morning to find a large white tiger sleeping with her in her bed. The tiger, Tama, nabs Hayate and carries him outside to fight. Maria realizes the two were fighting in the garden of her favorite flowers. She puts on an intimidating kind smile and guesses that Tama and Hayate were being forced to fight due to a plan made by Nagi and Klaus, the head butler. Once Hayate is treated, Tama reveals himself that he can speak the human language, due to being raised with so much luxury. Afterward, Klaus, who is still upset about Hayate being Nagi's butler, challenges Hayate to a match with a robot known as 8 to see if he has the necessary skills to be a butler. 8 attacks Nagi when she insults him. Hayate uses an electrical cord from a lamp and electrocutes 8, knowing that he will be electrocuted too. However, he is fine with it since it is his job to protect Nagi. Klaus backs off and says Hayate can remain the butler. Later, Hayate wakes up in bed. Nagi confirms his victory and the two do a formal initiation of master and butler. Maria walks in and thinks it's great that Hayate can stay at the mansion now. At the end of the episode, Hayate, who is carrying Nagi, fights a giant robot, which is the encounter at the beginning of episode 1. When Nagi goes to her school, Hakuo Academy, she forgets to bring her lunch, and Hayate offers to bring it to her. He also determines Nagi is a hikikomori. Once he gets to school, he is stopped at the front gates by a teacher, Yukiji, who thinks he is an intruder. Hayate eventually gets to the school, but the teacher continues her pursuit. Once inside, Hayate meets the student council president of the school, Hinagiku Katsura, for the first time, and helps her down from the tree she was climbing. As a reward, she brings him to the top of the student council clock tower so that he could see from the terrace. Yukiji, who is Hinagiku's sister and still searching for Hayate, eventually finds him up there and ends up fighting Hinagiku. After taking Nagi's bento box from Hayate, she jumps onto the railing of the terrace only to get blown off by a breeze. Hayate promptly rescues her, which ended her hostility toward him. In the process, however, she had thrown Nagi's bento box in the ground and spilled its contents. Although, Nagi still thanked Hayate for going all the way through the campus for her. Hayate wakes up Nagi and tries to get her ready for school, but she does not want to go and stays home instead. Maria tells Hayate that Nagi doesn't like to go outside, as since the time she was little, she was always getting kidnapped as the only daughter of the wealthy Sanzenin family. Nagi's cousin Sakuya Aizawa and her butlers Mikata and Kunyeda arrive, and she starts to teach Hayate to be a better comedian, despite Nagi insisting that he's a butler. Sakuya tests Hayate to bring up one of his funniest jokes, though she finds it not funny but likes his style. Maria notices that they are out of tea and a visitor is expected. Hayate goes out to pick more tea wearing a cashmere coat, but he finds the journey perilous. He crosses Loser Park and meets a girl named Isumi Saginomiya. Since Isumi is lost, Hayate tries to help her, but a group of swordsmen suddenly surround them. Continuing from the last episode, Isumi gets to Nagi's mansion, but Hayate leaves to pick up the tea that he was supposed to get. Hayate is ambushed by Isumi's butlers and the loan sharks from the 2 first episodes. Hayate eventually makes it back but comes down with a cold. Isumi is revealed to be Nagi's childhood friend. Nagi decided to cook a meal for Hayate, though he looked worried that Nagi might mess up the food. Back in Hayate's room, Hayate ate Nagi's meal, though he realized that she used the detergent instead of cooking oil. It was something that Nagi made especially for him. When Hayate was sleeping, Nagi was about to kiss him, until he woke up, and then Nagi got mad and hit him. The next day, after Hayate was healed, he met a young boy and his maid who have come to Nagi's mansion. The boy, Wataru Tachibana, is Nagi's fiancé. Wataru, who is infatuated with Isumi, challenges Hayate, who he perceives as a rival, to a duel. Hayate loses to Wataru on purpose, hoping for a romantic conclusion between Wataru and Isumi that will allow Nagi to break off her unwanted engagement. However, his overly obvious act ends up hurting Wataru's feelings. In order to reach Wataru and apologize, Hayate, together with Isumi and Nagi, must brave the Tokyo subway system. Afterward, Nagi has Hayate deliver a bag of videos to Wataru. In the city, Hayate met Wataru's maid Saki Kijima, and she leads the way to Wataru's video store, revealing that Wataru dreams of running a successful doujinshi business. As Hayate apologizes to Wataru, he decides he wants to become a member of the video store, until Wataru finds out that he's already registered. Hayate finds out that it was his father, Shun Ayasaki, who did not return the videos he rented. Then Hayate decides that he should pay the money for the overdue videos. Nagi gets Hayate to first try on a female school uniform. Much to his displeasure, and before he could do anything about it, Maria comes to Nagi's room and sees what's going on. Nagi and Maria then proceed to put Hayate in a full-on catgirl outfit, which entices Tama's animal instincts. Afterward, Hayate runs into Claus and initially tries to run away. But in the end, Claus's instincts take heed, and Maria must interfere. Later, Hayate and Maria play a game of pool, where if Hayate loses, his debt will increase to 200 million yen. Maria is taking her upper hand and wants Hayate to marry Nagi. However, Hayate refused that offer, but he said that Nagi is a very kind girl. When Maria missed the shot, Hayate manages to hit the billiard into the hole, thus winning the pool game. Hayate tries to motivate Nagi to go to school finally, and offers to take her to and from school every day from now on. Nagi reluctantly agrees and goes to school for the day, but when she comes back, it turns out she forgot her notebook at school. Hayate offers to go to the school late at night to bring it back. At the school's gate, he runs into the school's teacher, Yukiji. He met her earlier. He is introduced to the 3 girls known as the Hakuo 3 Amiga: Izumi Segawa, Miki Hanabishi, and Risa Asakaze. Hayate goes into the school's old building while Hinagiku comes looking for him. Hayate saves Hinagiku from being chased by a haunted doll, and the 2 of them move on to find Nagi's notebook. While Izumi and her butlers went to exorcise the real evil spirits, Hayate came back to Nagi safely with her notebook, and wanders about a school being a nice place. This episode is anime only, and it takes place during the same time as episode 8. It shows some other strange things that were going on in the background. A female demon, Abe Mao, living inside an old video game is awoken and takes the Hakuo 3 Amiga, Miki, Izumi, and Risa of the student council from Nagi's school into the video game, where they must defeat her to return to the real world. Hinagiku, the student council president, arrives soon after, and they go to destroy the demon, but she ends up ending it herself. Nagi, with Hayate, Maria, and Sakuya, go to visit the head of the Sanzenin family, Mikado Sanzenin. When they arrive at Mikado's castle, the butlers and maids welcome them, although they find Hayate as a suspicious-looking person, which makes him feel depressed due to his poor luck. Hayate runs into Mikado outside, but initially believes him to be a landscaper on Mikado's estate. Hayate explained to him about his debt from his parents. After Mikado reveals himself, he informs Hayate that his life is infinitely worthless, while he's living to merely pay off the debt he owes to Nagi. Mikado gives him a special pendant, the King's Stone, before leaving. Nagi runs to Hayate to tell him that they should return home. A man named Gilbert Kent, a fake foreigner, attacks Hayate. Before the fight, Mikado explained to Nagi that when he dies someday, Nagi will be the only one with the estate. Hayate can see what will happen if Nagi doesn't want to give up her estate in the future, and he defeats Gilbert with one kick. Later, Hayate decides that he will protect Nagi from anyone that tries to hurt her, which greatly flusters Nagi. After waking up from a dream about his childhood, Hayate talks with Maria about having dreams to live for, and believes that dreams in life are very important. After revealing a childhood dream of his, Hayate gets the day off to buy a new cell phone and decides to visit his old Shiomi High School. There, he meets one of his old classmates, Ayumu Nishizawa, who has a crush on him. Hayate finds out that his parents took the rest of his tuition money, leaving him without a high school to go back to. While Hayate is leaving, Ayumu confesses her love for him, but he turns her down. He lies that he likes 2D girls. When Hayate came back for Nagi, she adds her phone number to Hayate's new cell phone. Meanwhile, Ayumu says that she will never give up on Hayate. Later, Ayumu returned the videos to Wataru. She gets taken into the ground of Nagi's mansion under the pretense that Hayate was being held captive by yakuza. Ayumu met Nagi after an encounter with the SPs and Tama, and leaves without knowing why Hayate works at the mansion. After turning down Ayumu, Hayate continues to wonder what she is doing while he is at the mansion. Transfer documents arrive in the mail for Hayate to transfer into a Hakuo Academy, and Hayate is overcome with joy to the point of crying. Hayate tries to study for the rest of the day for the exam the next day. However, Maria warns that he should not stress himself too much. After studying, Hayate decides to get to bed, but his sleep is continuously interrupted by Claus and Tama. As a result, he does not get much rest. The following day, Yukiji Katsura has a bit of fun at Hayate's expense in order to loosen him up before the real test. However, due to the physical and mental exhaustion, he fails the entrance exam by 1 point. Yukiji is told that she must go to the Sanzenin mansion to inform Hayate, but is hesitant to do so because she believes herself to be the reason Hayate failed. Hayate and Nagi are excited about him being qualified for Hakuo Academy. Nagi decides to have a party to celebrate this. However, Yukiji has not told Hayate that he actually failed, because she felt guilty for playing pranks on him before the test, resulting in Hayate's nervousness. Yukiji gets help from her sister, Hinagiku. After beating up her sister, Hinagiku tells Yukiji to take responsibility as an adult. The two of them then go to Sanzenin's mansion to find a really big society party. Nagi and Hayate were dancing together. Yukiji struggles to tell Hayate the truth. Throughout the commotion, Hayate soon finds out and leaves the party. Maria then finds Hayate outside sitting on a bench. After a small talk, Maria presents Hayate with her student ID. Hayate finds out that Maria sent a recommendation to the academy, resulting in his admission. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to let us know by leaving a like. Subscribe for more stories, and check out other stories here.